We're in week 3 of our Back to Homeschool Planning Made Easy series with bite-sized tasks each week to help you get ready for the new school year in manageable ways. If you are new to the series, welcome, glad you joined us. You can go back to watch week 1 and 2 if you want, or just jump in here. You can go back to those later as well. Each week I'm giving you short little tasks that are manageable, big tasks broken into small ones you can do throughout the week, a little bit here and there. Choose the ones you want to do, skip the ones you don't. Anything's better than nothing. All of that jazz. Before we jump into my update though and the tasks for the week, I did want to share with you that life has happened and I am going to go ahead and take the rest of July off for our lives. Weekly on Thursday. So I hope you will join me back in August for them. Beginning of the summer, I should have just canceled for the whole summer. Life happens during summer, and this is my daughter's last summer, full summer home, and I want to take advantage of it. And things just keep popping up, so it's just going to be easier if I just cancel the lives for the rest of July, and then we'll start back with the school year. I am sharing my updates each week, specifically because I want to make sure that I hold myself accountable, because it's really easy for me just to tell you what to do and spend the time getting that prepared for you, but then not actually doing it myself. So, my update and your tasks, the timestamps for those will be down in the down bar. If you want to jump ahead, no worries. I'm not offended. First one, best and last week, one of the tasks was to do the best and worst of your homeschool year and your homeschool life. So what are mine? A few of mine. One of the best things was getting to have that midweek break that I've shared about. If you not heard before, midweek we were over my daughter was in her community college classes. My boys and I went over with her, and we would just take the day, afternoon, whatever it worked out that week, and we would go. There's botanical gardens over there. There were trails, reservoir. We would go to downtown. They had a cute downtown area. We'd go walking around, that kind of thing, and it was such a wonderful time. It was interesting to find a new place to explore. It was good just to have that relaxed time with just my boys, which I don't get very often. And it was just a good reminder of these moments are important too, and not just my checklists. Now, on the other hand, one of the worst parts of that was that we basically lost a day each week for that, plus all the other things that we have going on. So schedule-wise, I feel like this past year was a tough one, maybe not as tough as I thought it was going to be, but I definitely had to cut out some things that I would have otherwise chosen. Another best was our Stories of Africa unit. It was absolutely fabulous, and I am going to be sharing, probably in August, some of the resources we used in case you want to add something to your school year with whatever other history you're doing. It was an absolutely wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, for Homeschool Life, I feel like I did a lot better job this year with keeping up meals and grocery shopping. Part of that was that I started doing more grocery pickup. Our Walmart does it, and then our Food Lion also started doing it. So it was pretty easy to do one or the other, and I would do those. My goal was about every other week that I would do a pickup from somewhere, and that was definitely a best for me. Now, as I also shared, I did not ask my boys the best and worst. And over on my blog, where I'm also doing this series, it comes out on Saturdays. And in my email list, I shared one of those places, I don't remember which one, that I didn't ask my boys until I was publishing the post. And part of that, as I gave it some thought, was that I didn't want to know. I 12 years into homeschooling, and I still battle insecurities sometimes. And I enjoyed our last homeschool year so much that I was afraid that they were going to say that one of the worst things was something that I enjoyed. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to have that, I don't want to say ruin it, but almost like I would end up feeling like, well, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought it was. And I didn't want that. As it turns out, no worries. Both of them for the best. The first thing out of their mouths was our writing program. Don't forget to write. I've shared that many times, how much they love it. We enjoy it. Link down below. And then Matthew said that his worst was probably the forensic science that we did. And Ben said that it wouldn't be fair to answer because his worst is just the subject he doesn't like, math. He liked Beast Academy fine. He just doesn't enjoy math. Before I give you your tasks for the coming week, I want to know how you did on this past week. So let me know down there. And now on to our new tasks. First one, Mom. Last week, that list that you made that included the worst things about your homeschool day and sorry for the helicopter print in the flight path, or the helicopter print in the flight path for the military base, and so we get a lot of it. That list you made last week with the best and worst of your homeschool life and the rest of it. We're going to look at those worsts, and we're going to see what we can do to improve it. Improve some of them, maybe not all of them. And I'm specifically using the word improve because some things just can't be fixed. The best we can hope for is for things to be improved, and that's okay. Life doesn't have to be perfect. We all know that. But if we can improve things so that hopefully next year, those are off of your worst list, that's going to be what we're going to do. So if one of your worsts was dealing with errands, possible ideas would be to include things like, can you do grocery pickup? When can you combine them? Can you hand them off to your husband? Some areas have people who will do things like returns and stuff for you. Concierge type stuff is what I've seen them referred to as. Some of them can be fairly affordable, actually. What can you do? What things can you have shipped to your house, take it online, that kind of thing. So really, brain dump. Just get as many ideas out as you can. You don't necessarily have to pick one right now, though. If you see one, oh, that's a perfect idea, go for it. But you don't have to right now. Just getting our brains working to think about ways that we can counter some of those worsts. For me, one of the worsts was my planning with science and history. I knew that going into the year that it was going to be tough. I've shared that as well. I've been honest about it. And it was. This year, I am not entirely putting together any subject myself. For science, for both my boys, they're doing different sciences this year. I'm choosing things that are basically done. We'll add in some different supplements, and bins is going to be several pieces of smaller things. But I'm not doing what I did last year. I am not good at it, and I am accepting that this year. But also, with that, I'm also put in my calendar repeating things of every other day, 20 minutes, just to work on those subjects. And then once I finish those, I'll move on to the rest of our homeschool year, getting those entered and planned out. But I have to have that in my calendar so that I'm forced to do it. Now, number 2, curriculum stuff. Last week we started with ideas about alternatives, things that you need to change. This week we're going to get serious about finding things. By the end of the week, you may not have found anything for your final choice, but our goal this week is to do a lot of research, so that by the end of the week, you have a couple possibilities. And again, if you find the one that you are happy with, go for it. I have a playlist that I did a couple of years ago for all the main subjects, and I gave 5 ideas for each one, and I try to do a variety of styles and approaches. Go check out that playlist. One of those may not lead you to one of those may not be the right one, but it may help you realize, oh, yeah, I don't want that, so cross that kind out, but I do like this part or whatever, that maybe will lead you to the right one. Kathy Duffy's website is fabulous. There is so much on there though, that I always hesitate to tell people when they're beginning searching because there's so much on there. So when you go to her site, I really prefer to go with a few different programs in mind so that I can read her reviews of those, and then if I need to, expand. But if you just go there looking for a math program, good luck. Because there are a lot of math programs out there. Now, last one. Couple tasks. 1, what's your planner set up for next year? Do you need a new one? Have you made a decision about what you're going to use? Do you need to order something? Maybe you don't need a planner. Maybe whatever curriculum you have is all laid out for you and you've got your own way of making notes for coming up or whatever, and you don't need one. Fantastic. But if you do, get it ordered now. If you want something print, the well-planned day is a very good one. I used it for a while and I realized I hated all the writing. And so I didn't end up using it. By the end of the school year, I was not getting it done because I hated all the writing. But it's a good one. I actually use a combination of Homeschool Panda and then just a one sheet overview thing. And if I remember, I will include the link for that. That if you just need like someplace just to jot some stuff down, but you don't need to fully plan, go grab that paper. It's free. I have a spot for like my meal plan and then things that are coming up, my to-do list, just a general place for me to like actually physically jot things down because that's what I need. Also, if you have to do portfolio or something that you have to turn in, if you need any supplies for that, even if you don't need them until the spring, just go ahead and get them ordered because why not? Just get them done. That way you have it and you're ready. The last task is for field trips. You guys know that is something that I struggle with. I struggle to get them in. When my kids were younger, it wasn't so hard. And part of that was because we were in an area where there were a lot of people who set up field trips. And so they just did it and I just went along. No shame in that. But I appreciated that they put in that effort. Absolutely. Here, we don't have a great homeschool community, and the field trips that I see planned are often just geared for younger kids. And if we're going to miss a full day of school, at middle school, high school, a trip to Annie Ann's Pretzels or Fire Station just aren't worth it at their ages. Great for little kids, not for us. But I really want to make an effort to do that. One tip I do have is to go ahead and get them on paper. Even if you have to change the date, even if you have to change the location, once they're on paper and in your planner, in pencil, you're more likely to follow through with them. So go ahead, come up with a list of possible ideas, and then put something into your planner. Again, pencil, so you can change them, but get something done. And if you are, maybe you're in a field trip group, now's a great time to go ahead and get yours planned for the year so that you can be on top of things and hand your ideas into your group leader now. Again, down in the comments, let me know how you did this week. I will see you next week.